Rosann, we've known each other for 3 decades.
Yes, a long time.
And you have been a professional counselor.
As you have been a professional counselor, how many people have we known in Hong Kong?
Yes, quite a lot.
So many different people.
And so many changes.
And that's why we want to think about women now and women then, and how women have changed over these years.
That must be very interesting.
Yes.
And it covered different generations.
Always.
Well, if they're interested in what we are talking about, how are they going to find us?
They're going to find us Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, PsychoAlchemy. We are Women Now and Then.
See you there.
Hey, Dorothy, so we've been talking about when you disagree with your friends, when you disagree with your family, when do you talk, when do you not talk, who do you talk to? So we had forget about it, don't do anything. Confrontation, talk to them specifically.
Yes.
Talk to a third person is another way of handling it. But I want to go back to your example of the woman who was doing the craft. You saw in that painting one woman completely involved in whatever she was doing at that time.
Yes.
And you saw these things around her. We don't know her relationships. We don't know how she is with her girlfriends, sisters, mothers, aunties, or friends. We just know for that slice of time, there she is. But we both know when people are troubled emotionally, they're holding something in their hearts that is very difficult for them. Sometimes they try to forget about it. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Sometimes they think they've done confrontation, but that didn't come out right. They were thinking as they were talking.
Maybe make things worse.
Yeah. Then they went to see a third person.
Yeah.
And the advice might be good, not good. So a lot of us are trying out 1 method, 2 methods, 3 methods. But we get to a point where who is the friend you can talk to? The problem is serious. The problem has great concern, but you've done all the things you know how to do. I know particularly when people find themselves with, they get told by a doctor, you have serious threat of heart attack. Well, suppose you hear that. And you think, well, can I forget about it? No, I can't forget about it. And this guy told me, he's 62 years old, he told me, I know I might die any moment. So I say, George, any of us might die any moment. You know, we're all in the process of, but he goes, do I tell my wife? Do I tell my kids? How do I do this? And I said, yeah, you have to do all of that.
Yes, yes.
You have to do all of that. And then he said to me, do you think it's silly if I talk to God? And I said, no. I think if you're going to talk to anybody, you might as well talk to God.
Right.
Because a heart attack is something over which you really have no control. You can try to lose weight, George. You can try to exercise. You can eat the right food. But your doctor told you right now there are blockages and you need to be ready. So he said, how do I know if God will answer me? All right. George, I respect what you're saying, and you've been so responsible all of your life.
Yes.
You need some time to talk to God, and then you have to wait to hear some response. It's not a conversation on a telephone, but you're raising a really important point that sometimes there's no one on this earth who has knowledge or skill to help you. And yet you know you need help. Now, I don't know if George was fully believing me, but he did need to know it's okay to seek out a higher power. Now, I don't know, in your counseling, have you had some cases like this?
Oh,
or you
yeah.
know, sometimes our friends tell you, I even talk to God and I'm not getting anywhere. Whoa, okay. Where do we want to start on that?
Well,
But
yeah.
the difficulties are within us.
Yes.
It's a feeling in the heart, or you say, my stomach, it's not in the brain. It's something in the body
In the body.
that's not so good. And you can't dream up the solution because it's very difficult. George and his heart blockages, he'd seen the doctor. He knew his life might come to an ending sooner than he thought. That's a real issue.
Yeah.
As people pass 50,
Yeah.
you know, it can happen to anyone,
Anything
but
can
past
happen.
50, past 60, past 70, it's part of their everyday talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, talking to God, I got this question from him the next. He said, "Well, how do you talk to God?" Okay.
Hi, God.
Well, what does that mean? He said, I heard you, Rosann. Maybe there is some power beyond all of us. I said, yes. Some people believe in meditation. Some people feel when they're doing yoga, they feel something, this oneness with the earth. Some people might be swimming and feel it. You don't know exactly how to describe this sense of connection with some force, some strength, some awareness that is beyond human understanding right now.
Yeah. And that force is so supportive. Yeah. It can be anywhere. But the thing is, usually you can only achieve that or have that experience while you're alone. While you are in a big crowd, there's no way you have this serenity. So I will usually go to have a hiking, go to the close by hiking trail and spend maybe 2 hours there. And sometimes swimming it also help because of the quietness under the water. But the thing is, as I told you earlier, sometimes when I have some stuff that really gets stuck inside of me and I cannot find anyone to help me up, I do pray.
Yes.
Yeah, I pray to God, and usually I will say to okay, dear God, that's how I
Yes.
started. At least when you call up someone, you have to say hi, Rosann, right? So at least you will say hi, God.
Yes.
It's me again, right? So I'll say, what have been bothering me these days, and I just sometimes I'm a good prayer.
Yes.
So I usually just tell God what has been happening these days. And I just say, you know what's good for me. So if you think it will be a good idea, you give me some signs, great. If you think no need, you will plan everything for me. I will just act accordingly. So I can do a little bit of surrendering when I pray to God. Because the moment I decided to pray to God, I think I already admit that this problem is beyond my capability.
And problems like that happen.
Oh, definitely. We need a bigger force.
Relationships especially.
Oh, yeah. And there's certain things when you talk to a friend, they might not be able to help, and you might need to explain a lot. I think I have reached an age, sometimes I don't want to give so much details about what's going on.
Yes.
So, but talking to God, He knows everything, right? He's everywhere, right?
Yes.
So you don't need to give Him the history and what have been going on. He just push his button and He know exactly what's going on. So it's a much easier way for me.
Yes. There also is in those moments, I find, an awareness like I cannot be the only person on this planet who has ever faced this many entanglements. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I really am stuck. And that admission to the self that you're stuck, or what you said, submit. The admission that, oh my gosh, it's tearing me apart. I don't want to be this way. But what can I do? We search out for answers from the ethers, somewhere looking at the clouds or at a sunset, something natural. And can this be happening? Can it be resolved? That communication with powers that is stronger than all human beings. The 30-year-olds might not understand this. And I'm not sure that the 50-year-olds will understand it either. But as one moves towards 60 and into the 70s, you have enough examples of how in earlier years people strive and have goals and have to accomplish.
Yes.
But
task oriented.
it's a different kind of feeling when a person is sitting with an emotional issue that they feel helpless. Then maybe the only thing works is to turn it over to a higher power.
Higher power, yeah.
Yeah.
Acceptance, I think, is the key.
Yeah.
And then surrender.
Well, there's all the 12-step programs.
Oh,
you know?
true. Yeah.
True, it happens. It happens, yeah. Well, we're talking, that brings us to almost to lifetime issues.
Yes.
Lifetime concerns. I'm going to introduce the book early because I think it fits in here. This Woman Rowing North is written by a woman who's 70, 71 years old. And she has a group of friends, and they row a boat on a river.
Oh.
So they've been doing it, their girlfriends, women friends, for maybe 20 or 30 years.
Wow.
You talked about your mom and her long-term
Classmates, huh?
that's classmate. So when women have known each other that long, and some women are fortunate enough to have relationships, the cluster of girlfriends who come and go become very important. This one got married and moved off, but then she moved back. This one's thinking of divorcing her husband, but she's not sure. This one thinks she should start a second career, but really not sure of that. Then we have the woman who can't get along with her 2 children. And so looking at Women Rowing North, the woman of 70, and I can speak with some authority to this, the woman of 70 can look back and see stages in life rather than ages.
Stages rather than
Stages.
ages.
And is aware of what's happened to her friends over the decades. If you're lucky enough to be living past 60, oh, you are so lucky, because so much gets clarified in the 60s. And I truly enjoyed the experience of reading with Mary Piper. She picked out 7 women and she watched them over the decades. But they could be any women. You know, we all have girlfriends. She establishes the idea that we must look at how the person grows and then the culture in which they find themselves. Now, Dorothy, she's a scholar. Mary Piper's a scholar.
Yeah.
She talks about life in the United States. I tried to transpose that to international Hong Kong.
Okay.
Oh, so much more complicated.
Yeah.
Because very few of us, your mom has friends from her secondary school years.
Yeah.
But many of us don't, because in Hong Kong people move in and move out.
Yes. Yes.
And people who move in and move out, you don't know where they went to secondary school.
Yeah.
You don't know how they learned their craft. The lady in the painting who you saw working like this, she could be a PhD student in archaeology, but she earns money doing this.
Yes,
We
yes.
don't know. So I have great respect for this particular volume on women and going through the ages. But then I put the book down and I think, how did I end up here in Hong Kong, where some of this applies, but the multicultural and multi-generational themes from this book don't work in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Because I need my friends whose life perspective, whose setting is different from mine. But there's a glow to Hong Kong. I find it, and it is a glow of people who are different love talking to each other.
Yeah.
You know, we can be here this morning, an
Yeah.
American woman and a Chinese woman. You can have lunch with an Indian woman.
Yeah.
I could go have supper with a Japanese family, and we think that's common. In Hong Kong, it's a common thing to do.
A mix. Yeah.
A mix, and we're open to the mix. The women in this book all grew up and lived in the middle part of the United States.
Oh, I see.
They had many adventures.
Yes.
They traveled, but they have a common growing up years, common setting,
Yeah.
common outlook.
Yes.
You put together 7 women in Hong Kong, have no idea what you're going to find.
Well,
It's good.
Yeah, but
It's good.
what you said just now, I was thinking, it's so hard to maintain this kind of long-term relationship in Hong Kong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Sometimes when I read books from overseas, I always admire they have such a long-term relationship because they stay in the same place for such a long time,
Yes.
ever since they're in the kindergarten.
Yes.
But in Hong Kong, I have really a hard time trying to get all my old friends together. Somehow they move. Some go to UK, some to USA, some to Australia, some now move to China. And now we reach an age, retire. Some go back to to Taiwan. So I cannot even think, how can I maintain a long-term relationship? And maybe that's why when you have problems, you are so hard to get someone can go
Yes.
deep and talk to you about that.
Absolutely.
Yes, we can have lunch with a Japanese and then dinner with American. Tomorrow have maybe a breakfast with a Taiwanese. But these are all very, I'm not saying acquaintance, but not deep enough to share your real.
And that's what we need to help people find those. One of the reasons we're counselors, to help people figure out what they want to do with their lives.
Yes, yes.
And finding true friends with deep understanding is quite a challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a challenge.
And the other day when I have this little accident at home, the window broke and was midnight. I was thinking, I have this one friend who lived very close by and said, Dorothy, I'm the closest. I live closest to you. So no matter what happened to you, just give me a call and I will just drive over and help you out. On that day, she was the first woman I think of. But few months ago, I don't know what happened. Our relationship just,
yeah.
And it's like I felt just not right if
Yeah.
I'm to call her then. It's like I felt pretty sad because no matter what your friend promised
Oh, yeah.
you before,
Before.
things
Before.
can change.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you show me this book on women rowing north and talk about this, have a relationship you can cherish up to the age of 70, I definitely feel so envy. I really hope that I can also have friends that have not 50 years of friendship. Maybe 20 years I already feel very lucky.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
So
that's true.
that's what I told my mom.
That's true.
You better talk to auntie.
Yes.
Right? I
Yes.
really envy you. You have a friend for over 70 years.
Yeah.
If only I can keep a friend for 20 years, I'm very lucky. So, well, maybe that's the difference from women
It's
then and women now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Friendships are key.
Yes.
And women are the communicators.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Good
So,
session. This
good.
was a good talk.
So next time we're
Next time.
going to talk about maybe how women will do, how they will continue their relationship in a very competitive work
Oh
environment.
yeah, work. We got to get to work.
We got to get to
Next
work.
time is work.
Okay.
Next time is work.
All right. Bye-bye.